Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Yorkie 3-stripe. Now this is a video in response to the challenge set by Danny over at the Annex. Danny, who has his own channel, the Annex, which I'm sure all of you are subscribed to and you watch. Danny's been doing that channel for years now. He just recently got 10,000 subscribers, so congratulations Danny. Great guy, fellow Yorkshireman like myself, so that makes him instantly a good fella. And the fact he likes Adidas and Spezial and all things trainers just enhances that really. So yeah, if you haven't discovered Danny at the Annex, go and check it out. So he did a challenge for everyone to name their top 10 Adidas Spezial releases to celebrate the 10 years that we've just completed. You'll all be aware of that, I'm sure, from all the releases that have come out over the last 12 months. But obviously we've had 10 years of Adidas Spezial. So let's do my top 10 Adidas Spezial releases. This was understandably hard. It was brutal. I had to be really, I could have done another 10 just off the bat straight away. So apologies. I could do another 10. Top 10 probably in a month, and I'd probably have 2 or 3 different ones in my top 10, but I'm going to do my top 10 and I've based it really on, I'm going to start with the year of release. So I'm going to start with a release from autumn winter 14, which was the start of Spezial, October 2014, and I'm mainly going by aside from a couple, but I'm mainly going to go by how often I've wore these and how many pairs I've had. So if I've had 3 pairs of one particular trainer or shoe, clearly I like them because I wear them. Don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of trainers that I love, which I don't really wear due to the rarity, how scarce they are, the value. But the majority of trainers that I like, obviously I wear the most because that makes logical sense, doesn't it? So no further ado, I'm going to get down to it. So the first release, the first trainer from my top 10 Spezial is the Topanga Spezial. Now, these are based on the California, the 1970s California. Due to copyright issues, Adidas changed it to Topanga, named after the Topanga Canyon in California. So that's why they're not called California. You can actually get a label with California on, which makes them even more scarce. Now these are the second pair I've had of these. These are a pair I've not actually worn. These are new. As you can see, that charcoal chestnut, they call this. I always call it kind of a rusty orange, a burnt orange I'd call it, but the official colour is chestnut and charcoal. And of course there's since been, well, there's always been a run of Topangas, that same gum sole, whoops, something's just fallen out there, that same gum sole, the outer sole, that charcoal, or in some cases black or brown, or gum, and that silhouette of the Topanga, which has stood the test of time. So they were part of that first drop in October 14. So they've got that, pardon the pun, special feeling. You know, they are kind of where it all began. So I couldn't have my top 10 without those in it. So the Topanga Spezial is in that top 10. Following on from that, you've got the reissue there, but one of the grails of Adidas for Adidas collectors and certainly fans of Spezial is the Hardwick. So this came out in December 14. So it was part of the Spezial line. There was confusion at the time because they were labelled wrongly. On the box it just said Hardwick. There was no SPZL on the box, but it then featured in the promo shot, and that was confirmation, of course, that it was Spezial. But on the trainer you can see there is not a mention of Spezial anywhere. The footbed, which is normally where you would get Spezial, or on the tongue, you would get it. But these were really brought out for the Manchester exhibition. And they used Oi Polloi, the local Manchester retailer, the nearest retailer, and they were designed in Ardwick green, which is a green in Manchester, and I think you'll agree they really caught the attention. They did exactly what they wanted to. They wanted to create a buzz around the exhibition. 500 of these were made. These are my third or fourth pair. I've had them in the past, I've sold them on in the past, regretted it, and I don't intend on selling these at all. So these were purchased this year again, and again, I don't think I could do a top 10 Spezial without those in it. But they're probably the only two pairs that I've not really worn a lot of my top 10. So that is 10 and 9, if you like. So next, as in release, is going on to the next line, which is Spring Summer 15. And there we have the waterproof. Now these were made, again limited, 1,000 of these were made. They retailed at £185, very expensive, well, very expensive now, and at the time certainly 10 years ago. They're in like a granite Gore-Tex waterproof leather. You've got the Dellinger web there. It's very much the New York style training shoe, and you've got that, obviously, that lovely Dellinger web, which is a bit of a theme for me. I do like it. Obviously you've got the New Yorks there, and the Carlos, they didn't make it into my top 10 though, but they are just stunners. I love that. Everything about it, the Gore-Tex tag there, the actual the laces there where you've got the loop, and it's just, they just feel so durable, but they're so light as well. So there again, as I say, right back in the early days, spring, summer, believe it or not, even though they are an autumn winter shoe really, but you could wear them all year round, and they are in my top 10. So that's spring, summer 15. And we move on to, right, where are we going now? Here we are. We're going further down, and we're going to autumn winter 15 again. Actually, that was spring summer 15. We're going now to autumn winter 15, and that is the Albrecht. Now these are a boot I've worn, these are my third pair. This is a pair that I bought recently. I think they've been worn minimally, but I got them for a good price. I've got one that I've worn out. I've got another pair that I'm currently wearing, but I just had to have another pair of these in prep for when they do basically see better days. A beautiful suede boot, these. The Wallaby boot. Just love that gum sole as well. The trefoil tab, which is a theme with a lot of obviously Spezial leisure shoes. You can see there. And they were easily in my top 10. No hesitation whatsoever for those. And they were always going to go in. There you got the Spezial in the footbed. Just a wonderful, wonderful release. Of course, Adidas themselves brought out the black and the green as well. But they were not Spezial releases. So that was autumn winter 15. Carrying on from that same collection, it's probably, I think, probably my favourite collection, the autumn winter 15, because you've got two from a top 10 in there. You've got the Moundfields, so in keeping with more of a leisure shoe, and the Moundfield is a Moundfield 1, the Moundfield 2, but it was the Moundfield, the original. Let's just move Paddy Constantine in his dead man shoe for his role, and that, ladies and gents, is the Moundfield. Now, if you haven't got a pair of these, you're missing out, because these are just the comfiest shoe known to man. They really are. I'm going away tomorrow. I'm going to Berlin for a few days. These will be getting packed, and these will probably be what I'll be wearing pretty much most of my time over there. They are superb, so comfortable. These are my second pair. I've got another pair So I won't be wearing this particular pair, but I've got another pair ready to put in my suitcase, and they're just lovely. I love that colourway. Named after Manny Mountfield, of course, the bass player from Stone Roses. I'm sure he's had many pairs of these. The actual upper is still the same silhouette as the Boston Spezial, which was part of the first drop in autumn winter 14. But they've put on it underneath, obviously, a much more of a durable outer sole, much more in the style of sort of the trainer trekking boot hybrid. But it's just a fantastic release, that. So that's autumn winter 15. Now what are we at? That's 5 we've had. Next, number 6 in my top 10, and we're going across to spring summer 16. And there we have the ZX 400. Now this is one of the lesser known ZX styles. The 500 obviously gets a lot of attention, but the ZX 400, it's a copy of the original, and it is a very simplistic trainer, but I love this. These are my third pair. These are brand new tagged. I've got a pair which I wear a lot, certainly not in this condition. They've certainly faded a bit and they've worn a little bit under the soles because I've worn them to death. But these, I just wanted a brand new pair just for posterity more than anything. I'm loath to actually pop the tags and wear these because I just given the fact they're 9 years old now with such a classic runner, I just love that trefoil there on the tongue, that colourway, the blues, the silver reflector on the back. Just that lovely outer sole. I love a runner and I love blue trainers. And they, again, were always going to go into my top 10. Don't really get a lot of acclaim. A lot of people go for a couple of other runners what are going to be in my top 10, which I'll get to. But I think the ZX 400 don't really get enough attention. I think they're a much better trainer than what people give them credit. So they were released in spring summer 16. Right, okay. Now we're moving on to autumn winter 17, and we again, some will say very similar, but to a trained eye or to people who love a trainer, you'll see quite a lot of difference. The TRX Spezial, this to me is always going to have a special place in my heart. Basically, it's the first Spezial item that I bought, not just the first Spezial trainer, but it was actually the first Spezial item that I bought. I wasn't buying Spezial when it first came out in 2014, I'll be honest. These came out, as I say, at the end of 17, and that is pretty much when I bought them. I did buy them when they just came out. I saw them and I thought, wow, look at them. So it has got a special place in my heart, those. I've got a real soft spot for them. These, oh, do you know, I think this might be about my 5th pair of these, to be honest with you. Let me just show you the beauty of these. Obviously, you've got the trefoil. The upper is, of course, the TRX runner. And then the lower, as you can see there, you've got the McVicker, the famous TRX outer sole, which is consistent on all the later releases. There you've got your moss side, your TRX mesh, and these are, for me, just you know, a no-brainer for my top 10 for many reasons. Aside from the sentimental reasons, I just love that look. That for me, that silhouette is so streamlined, and for me it just ticks every single box. So that is autumn winter 17. Let's pull back. How many more have we got left? Let's see. We've got 3 more. We've got 3 more. Okay. Spring summer 19. We're going down again. We're going to another runner. In fact, we've got 2 runners. We've got, right, okay, let's do this in the right order. This spring summer 19. Now, it came out in 2 waves, spring summer 19. In March, you had the first part, and as part of that was a ZX 530. Now, that's based on the 1987 release. Now, it's the same colourway. It's the same, kind of the same shape of the 1987. but it's more of the ZX500. Well, it is the ZX500 outer sole instead of the original. Again, these are comfort personified. I would put these as probably the most comfy trainer that I've ever owned. These are my third pair, but they're a 10.5. I was half a size up on these. Always go half a size up on those. Do you know, when I first saw them, I didn't fall in love with them. But the more I wore them and the fact that they're so comfortable, I started to like how they looked. They're very versatile. You can wear them with any colours. I just love that colourway, that silver and grey with a bit of maroon in there. Absolutely stunning. They really are. I just really, really love these trainers. Are these brand new tagged? No, they're not, but I did buy them pretty new. Do you know what? I think I brought them brand new tagged and I've worn them once. But I have got another pair, again, that I wear a lot. I love that SPZL. That's something you don't get on many Spezial trainers or shoes. So that's a little bit of something different. And as I say, very prominent, that ZX 500 sole, as you can see there. You can just see that identical outer sole. So they, for me, again, a no-brainer. They had to be in my top 10, and this is why so many have missed out. The Kirkdale's fantastic, you know, the Hoylakes, the New Yorks, but they just couldn't get into my top 10. And then we're going to go down one to, which probably, I think, probably one of the most commonly named trainer in people's top 10s. I can't imagine many people naming a Spezial top 10 without the silver birch. So these came out in the second wave of the spring summer 19 collection. This came out in the June, so in the height of summer, and I don't think you can get a more summery looking trainer or runner. Inspired by the Denver. Now these were named after an area of London where Robert Brooks, the Spezial collaborator and collector, was from. He had a big say in these. He designed the colours, and what a fantastic job he did. There's my little pin badge, I love that. Now let's get these on view. These have been worn. These are my second pair of silver birch. Again, half a size up, which is a common trait with some Spezial runners. Certainly these. But aren't they beautiful? That Dellinger web, the mesh, the suede, just everything. The D-ring, laces, absolutely stunning. That just everything about these just say to me Spezial, but also Adidas runners. I actually went on the beach with these, I think, last summer, and it discoloured the suede, but I got them cleaned up and they look all right. Again, I keep my eyes open. If I saw another brand new tag pair in a 10.5, I would probably get them. And you can pick them up at a reasonable enough price. But so beautiful, these. And again, a no-brainer. And it really, when I keep saying no-brainer for the top 10, so the 10 really pick themselves, and that's when you have to sort of be brutal and leave others out. So there was two fantastic runners from spring summer 19, the ZX 530 and the silver birch, both half size up if you're interested. And then, as I said, these aren't in any particular order as in favourites. They're all in my top 10, so obviously they are favourites. And I'm going to end with autumn winter 20, and that is the Alderley, which some people might be surprised by, but again, I'm going on how many pairs I've had, how often I've worn them. Now, this is my third pair of Alderleys. Now, these are named after a parish located in Cheshire. They're inspired by the Lacombe, that very simplistic white court shoe, but it changes from that. You know, you've got the perforated toe box, you've also got the perforated tongue, I think it is. You've got that foxing mesh going right from the back, from the heel to the front. You've got the bluebird colourway on the heel tab and the tongue. Let me just get these out again. Now, these are a brand new tag pair because I wanted to basically get another pair. Do you know, these are my third pair. Did I say third? Because these are actually my third pair of these. And you can see there just that perforated toe. Just the real classic court shoe. I love that moustache heel tab. So you've got the original trefoil there, which really does go with it, because they really do look like a classic 70s tennis shoe, court shoe. But then you've got the nod to the modern trefoil, the mod trefoil at the back. And there we go. We've got a spare set of laces there as well. Just lovely. And you've got on the other side, on the other one, you've got the original trefoil. But I just think they're stunning, those. They really are. It's the mesh tongue on the footbed, of course. You've got Spezial. Absolutely stunning. They're my last of the 10. Doesn't mean the number one. I don't think we really need to make it 10 to 1. They're all winners because they've all made it into the top 10. And when you look at the amount of fantastic trainers Spezial have brought out over the last decade, to get in that top 10 is an achievement. So there we are. That is my Spezial top 10. I've responded to the challenge set by Danny. I did put my 10 on my socials, well, on my Instagram last week, but I wanted to do a video. I said I'd do a video, so there we are. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to see more people's top 10. I'd love to see more videos of people's collections. This is what it's all about, sharing this passion of Adidas. And till next time, cheerio.